Alrighty, so here we are. This is where we want to begin. As you can tell, there's a parking lot that is coming up here in just a quick minute here. Lost Creek is right about here where these cars are. And typically this area is quiet. It's pretty quiet. Sporadically though, yeah, you're gonna find a couple of people out here, but I mean, on average, I would say that this is not exactly one of the most popular areas in the park to my experience. And if you've never headed down this way, and you're in a car, I would not suggest under any circumstances coming through here, because this is rocky and there are some gaps. This is a rough, unmaintained road. Okay, and here we are. So as you can tell here, this is a rough road. This is Rocky Gap Road. All right. And of course, if you wanted to, there we go. If you wanted to, of course, yeah, you could drive your car, truck, whatever it is, all the way up here. But truth be told, as you can tell, this is rough. All right, here we go. Ooh, this is the road, Rocky Gap Road, the Rainbow Mountain Wilderness. We want to go over here to La Madre. Okay, get a close-up of this. All right, so you may be at this point thinking, well, I mean, this is a BLM trail. It's wide, it's clear, etc. If I have a dog, you know, sure, take him off leash. However, right over here, every time I'm up here, morning, afternoon, evening, spring, fall, the winter, early morning hours, whatever it is, I see wildlife. So if your dog is anything like my dog, I think Bella's a Malinois mix. I mean, she's the type of dog that can handle 8, 9 miles, 10 miles a day without a problem. She chases everything, including horses, wild horses, burros, deer. There's been a couple of incidents, and so now every time that we're out here, she's on a leash. Turning around though, look at these angry mountains. So the explanation in here, to my understanding, and of course, I am not an expert in this area, but if you go to like history museums, the science and exploration museums, oftentimes what they'll have is they will have a, whatchamacallit, they'll have like some type of water stream, and it's running over the rocks to indicate the impact water has. And so if you look really closely on all of these mountains, or even not on all of them, but these White Rock Mountains in particular, you will see the black marks. Black marks are where the water has depleted the minerals, okay? And so, for instance, if we zoom into, where's a good area? Right in here, you can tell, there you go, there's the black marks. And so, to my understanding, that's where the water has depleted the minerals for year after year, probably eons actually. And I would guess that that is what these marks have been caused by. There was probably a spring right all the way up at the top, and water just sprouted over. And so that's probably what happened in here. Water carved these areas out over and over and over again and again. So this is a guess, but according to my understanding, I would say that this is logical. Anyways, with that being said, the spring is right up here. Let's continue. Okay, so the Madre Spring Wilderness, as you can tell over here, this is the limestone, okay? Sandstone, red rock, white rock is over here. To my understanding, difference between white rock and red rock is just it's as easy to explain as simply oxidation process. That's all. When you cut an apple open, then of course, whatever it is, half an hour afterwards, then the exposed side of the apple will be oxidized. And to my understanding, this is the exact same thing that has happened here. And at the crux of it, that is the difference between the red rock and, out of breath, the white rock. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to climb out of here, okay? And this is limestone, okay? You can tell because it's just because there's edges. All right, so this is where we're headed. Now, even though there is a trail right in here, if you don't know where you're headed, like exactly where you're headed, this trail is gonna end at one point, and you're gonna be in these mountains without the slightest clue where to go. And even at this point, you can't tell where the mine is, the cabin is. So it's, this is hard to access, tricky. Once again, take GPX and do not under any circumstances go in the mine. Hey, Bella, come on. Let's roll. Hey, shit. Yeah, so it's important to take something into account here. This is a path, obviously. This is kind of a trail. But then again, there's one over there. There's a lot of these, and they go in every which direction. So who knows? Maybe there's more that's out here. However, just because if you're thinking about heading up here and taking one of these trails, something like this, you still need to be careful, because the first couple of times that I had done this, they led me astray every single time. So once again, having that GPX, or just having anything pretty much outside of those waypoints, is huge. Anyways, tangent, I digress. Here we go. This is the cabin. So, last time I was up here, I was looking at this, and I think that this is relatively new. This is fresh. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were people up here, you know, having a party. Maybe you're camping, whatever it is. Speaking of that, if you are thinking about camping, to my understanding, if you get caught camping, you're gonna have some huge penalties to face. So just because there's an area up here and it's, you know, maybe there's enough space over here, pitch a tent, sleep, whatever it is, think twice about it. So as you can tell here, this is the entryway. I would think that, you know, over here there was maybe an armoire, chandelier was up at the top over here. Some pictures over here, you know, of aunts and uncles, trips, vacations, whatnot. The bathroom, some linoleum, maybe it's marble, island in the kitchen, etc. What do you think? Do you agree? Anyways, so here it is, the structure. All right, so once again, here's a trail, here's a trail. There's a couple of others up here. So there's a lot of pathways. Who knows where these lead to, though. We're up here pretty high. Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. We discovered an opening in there. That is a hole. I don't know where that goes, but that is a hole. Creepy. Pretty wild. I would say that this is a 45-degree angle. Maybe it's more, I don't know. Steep hill, very arduous hike. All right, here we go. This is the gold mine, or this is the mine. It's the cherry on top. This is the target. Oh. Oh, all right. Way off in the distance there, you can actually see that is the city, the civilization. There's the mountains. Once again, looking all the way out. This place is incredible. All right, where are we at? This is the monster. Come here, Bella. See, so from the outside, you can't even tell. It just looks like it's a rock. Let's go check it out. Here it is. Pretty wild, huh? Looks like there could be an alternate way in there. That is crazy. All right, we are out of the woods. No pun intended. Oh, quite the adventure. Thanks for watching. Keep it real. Have a great day.